Hi everybody, I just wanted to do a long video today, longer, and it's to encourage those who are waiting on the man that the Lord has for them. And you'll know it because it's a deep conviction in your heart. I could go out and find somebody tonight, tomorrow, or next weekend, but you know deep down in your soul that's not what's for you particularly. You know that there's a divine setup, and you know that if you go out and try and find someone yourself, it's not going to end well. And you may have already tried and it hasn't ended well. It's ended messy, it's ended in heartache, and it's ended in a deeper surrender, but also a feeling of exhaustion because you tried to make it work and it didn't. And I want to show you where I'm sitting. I'm sitting in a forest on this specific rock. And it was the first date that me and my now husband had. I waited 16 years, something like that. And it wasn't 16 years where the Lord had many other things for me to do. It was 16 years, maybe 15, of complete surrender. It was very difficult. He also called me out of work, employment, and he kept calling me on little country, I can say adventures now, but back then it felt so exhausting. It didn't feel like an adventure, it was so hard. But little adventures with him. And my life was 80-90% me and God. And the rest was, I had one or two girlfriends, for intense seasons of maybe 3 months, and then they would, we would part. And then it would be maybe relationships online with, people who pray. And this is a very, very short version of my very, very long, amazing, wild, very difficult, all-consuming. Wait, I picked a flower for my daughter. I have a daughter as well, and I don't know where I put it. So, it's here. It's a little, it's this. She loves blowing them. So, the Lord kept calling me from my home country to Israel. And Israel is a place where it's considered to be the fire. Like, whatever you bring into Israel, and if it's not benefiting you, God will burn it up. And it's... it's hardcore. Anyway, I spent most of my days alone with God. And in that place, I formed, and the Lord formed with me, the most intimate, long-lasting... The flower blew away again. Oh, it's here. The most intimate, long-lasting relationship that couldn't have been formed otherwise. And God knew my heart. My heart was, I give everything. I give everything, Lord. And I did. I gave everything that I could possibly give. And it was the image that used to speak to my heart. The two images that used to speak to my heart was Mary. Let it be unto me according to thy word. And the other one was, I think it was Mary, another Mary, but who wept on Jesus's feet and dried his feet with her hair. And there's beautiful images on the internet of beautiful pictures of this, imagery of what this could have looked like. And it used to just, in the moments of I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't bear this longing, this desire, and this pain. I used to look at that image and I was refreshed, and I knew I can, because I want to. And after such a long time, it was faith journeys. It was trusting the Lord to provide everything I needed. And nothing was ever in abundance. But I always got, and some of it was through striving, to get that, being honest. But then one day came, and just turning this, it's so beautiful. One day came, and a friend of mine who I had met in Hebrew school said, come and stay with me and my partner. We've got a spare room. And I knew in my heart, because they'd invited me many, many times before, but I knew, and I declined, but I knew this time, yeah, that's how guided I was. I knew when to go left, and I knew when to go right, and I knew when not to move. And this was I'm going there. So I can't remember when it was I went, but it could have been that weekend, or it could have been the following day. And I went, and I stayed a week. And after the week, my friend's partner, who is now he's now a brother to me, said, you know, him and her had been speaking, and they said, we really think you would go really well with my best friend from childhood, my best friend now. And at this point, I was exhausted and weary. And I thought, I actually thought to myself, I had two thoughts. One was, maybe the person the Lord has for me isn't here, because I always knew he was in a specific place. And the second one was, I've got one place left in my heart to go to, because I felt the doors closing everywhere in the country, in Israel, for me. But there was one last place that I felt there's bread there, there's life there, God's got something there for me. So I had actually planned to go and stay up in this specific place. And it felt like it would just be my last place. Like, I remember sitting in the park in Jerusalem and thinking, there's nowhere left to go. Like, I feel like I have done everything I needed to do. And this is the last place I feel has got God's breath in it for me. So anywho, went to stay with my friend and her partner, who's now my beautiful brother. And he said to me, can we give this guy your number? And I said, yeah, okay. Anyway, that evening, I kind of was like, no, I'm going to retract. I'm going to tell him not to do it. Like, no. So I went out a walk before I did that, and I kept seeing the number 4. And the number 4 kept speaking to me, because Galatians 4:4 says, in God's perfect time, and he sent his son. And I know that speaks about Jesus Christ, but for me, this was a double whammy. This was, yes, he sent his son, but this was in God's perfect time, and he sent his son, which means in God's perfect time, and he sent his son to you, meaning my partner, my husband. And I kept seeing the number 4, and I kept going further into the walk, and suddenly the most intense peace rested. And I thought, does everyone feel this in Israel? It was so intense. And the scripture that was just going round my mind was, and the dove finally found her place, in regard to Noah and the ark and the flood, where Noah kept sending out the bird. And I felt like that was me and the Lord. Like God kept sending me out, and there was just nowhere for me to land. And then the time came where I was able to land. 12 hours later, I woke up and I had a text message from this man. And that was it. It was about 2 weeks of contact via the phone. And I hadn't met him yet in the physical, and I was falling in love. I denied it, but I was falling in love. I was then took by my brother to meet this man, and that following, and we came here. This is where we came, this rock. And the following week after that, that was it. We both knew, this is it. And he said, I'm all in. And I said, I'm all in. And we're now married with a beautiful daughter. And we're now about to embark in another massive transition together. And I came to the forest this morning to just sit with the Lord, and I came and I felt drawn to sit at the rock. I've wanted to do this video for ages, and it never felt right. But today it feels right. Not perfect, but it feels right. And I'm sitting here and I'm looking across the view, right through here, the 2 trees right into the distance. And I'm thinking about all these other women all over the world who are in the same boat as I was in. And you may not have been sent out to a different country. You might have been. You might be in your hometown. You might be from somewhere, but now you're living somewhere else. But what I'm saying is, your journey has been like Mary. Let it be unto me according to thy word. It's been like Mary with the tears and the hair. That you surrender just in the pain, in the losing, in the intensity, in the I can't take this anymore, in the weariness, in the messing up, in the oneness with you and Jesus. But you kept saying yes. And in that, I just sat here and I'm looking through the trees, and I'm thinking, I can see the whole way through the valley to the other side. Where's my finger? To the other side here, the whole way through here, from the rock, right the whole way through the valley to the other side. And I thought, oh my gosh, I have to make this video. God has got that someone for you. You haven't imagined it. You might have been in relationships, so you might have thought it was someone, and you've got it wrong, and you've maybe messed up. That's okay. It's okay. Because you kept going back to the healing, and you kept going back to the Lord, and your hair was continually on him, and your heart was continually on him. But I just want to encourage you today from a place of, I was there. I met the one the Lord had for me. By the way, that last little place in Israel that I thought, this is the only place left for me to go, my husband was there. He was about maybe a 4-minute drive from that specific place. Where my husband's from, I've never heard of it. It's just a small little place in Israel. But the place I thought was the only place left for me to go is a known biblical city, and it's the only place I knew. But it was a 4-minute drive from my husband's house. And I'm sitting here now, married with a child. The Lord will fulfill his promise to you. He will. And I just want to encourage you. And it's not a prophetic word. It's just a word of encouragement. look what he's done to me. Look what he's done for me. And my journey was intense. So I hope this encourages your heart. You have been like the Marys, the let it be unto me according to thy word, and the crying and just drying his feet with your hair. The intimacy, the intensity, the love that you both have as together. But the promise of that one the Lord has, he does have him. And I pray that just as it says in Galatians 4:4, in the right time God sent his son. It's about Jesus. But also in the right time God sent his son to you. Be encouraged. If this word does encourage you, subscribe to the channel. And this isn't about growing the channel. Of course, that would be awesome, because the Lord that's just, I believe, a part of my calling is prophetic words and encouraging words. And it makes me happy. So if it does bless you, and if you feel connected to me and my story and what you feel the Lord could do through me to help you, subscribe and come on board. I would love to help. I would love to encourage you. Leave comments and I will try my darndest, as they say, to reply. And I'm praying for you today. So, from me, from us, on the rock, God sees, and he's got it, okay? He's got it. Bye-bye.